Hey everyone, it's Stephanie 1111 Witchy Babe, and I am back with a pick a card reading, and this is going to be the end of month predictions. This is just for October 2019. Normally, you guys know I do all signs readings, but if you follow me on social media, on my personal page, or if you follow the groups, you'll know that I have been on a break due to a lot of life changes. So, you'll notice the background is different. And it's going to be different for a little while. So I'm in the middle of adjusting to new things. Because of that, I have closed off my private readings. I will hopefully be opening them back up either the end of this month, which is October again, or in November at some point. But because of all of the shifts that I have had to endure, I don't want to bring any negative energy to personal readings. Not that I'm bringing it to this as well. It's just easier to tap into the collective versus tapping into an individual. While I kind of get that together, I did want to still bring you guys something since I've gotten a lot of messages and a lot of support. Thank you guys so much. As again, if you follow my personal page on Facebook or if you follow my groups, I'm very open and honest about my life and how things are not perfect. I am not, we are all working towards a goal. So there's not one reader out there with a perfect life. There's no spiritual leader out there with a perfect life. We all have issues and problems that we have to deal with. And I feel personally it's best to not bring that energy into people's personal readings and such. So that is why I have taken some time away and why I am doing this the easy way per se versus doing all signs and tapping into each collective. Let's go ahead and jump into this instead of just going on about myself. We have three selections today. Go ahead and pick a card. Go ahead and pick a time. I'm actually going to pull away from the cards and the little prompts and things. I want you guys to start picking based off of just whatever you're drawn to. Really, like the timestamp is all that's needed. That time when it stops, when it starts, is significant to you. Those numbers are significant to you, and that's why they flag you to see it. So you will see me start to transition the stones and little cute things and stuff out for you guys just picking what time stamp is for you because you already know what you need to listen to. But until then, go ahead and take a selection at one of these three cards. Listen to all three. This is going to be what is coming for you at the end of the month. What was this kind of, let's just see what this month's about. I know this month has been really hard for a lot of people. Most of the people I know are going through significant changes, especially those in the spiritual community. Kind of like seeing what is this all boiling down to at the end of the month? Is there is there more work to be done? Is there a break coming up? So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to start off with group one. And this video will not be edited because I don't have my editing software on the computer I'm using. So sorry, just have to old school, right? Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. So group one, we have you with solitude. I'm going to move group two and three down. So solitude. Okay. Well, I feel like this represents really what you guys are already in. You're probably already in this introspective state of mind. You could potentially be researching things. And you know what? Okay, so this is a 9. And so in numerology, that's going to be the ending of a cycle because then you get to 10. And this almost gives me this enlightenment energy. She has that tower sitting behind her, which is all illuminated. And she's sitting underneath it. She's studying, she's learning, she's by herself. So you are probably feeling very alone if you're not alone. You probably want to be alone. If you can't, there is this pull to go within to find the information. You might be studying as well. You could be, a student right now, in the middle of all that stuff. But I feel like this is far more about yourself and looking within. You might be studying religious texts or metaphysical texts or that type of thing. But there's just a strong, really pulling within, really trying to figure out who you are or what you're supposed to be doing or where you're going. I feel like this group has hit some sort of crossroads. And then when I look at the bottom of the deck that I used, we have spiritual strength. So yeah, this is all about the spiritual awakening, the strength that you are having to develop within. And that's another 9, guys. So the positive thing I'm seeing about this, because I know this, I see readers would use this card or these cards and they they can be positive, but in my experience with this deck, in particular, and my clients, is these two cards, these type of energies usually indicate you're actually going through some shadow work. You're actually going through some stuff. It's not all oh, lights and happiness and all that coming through with these cards. A lot of the times these energies require a lot of inner strength, and they usually have some external manifestations where your life is kind of shoving you into this introspective state. So I feel like group one, you guys have probably been going through a lot this month. And the reason for it is because you are leveling up in some way. You are having to rely on spiritual strength, I feel, versus actual like physical, like not spiritual strength, spiritual knowledge, your soul's knowledge, versus something that's in a text, something that somebody else said, something that somebody else believes. Because that's why I was really getting pulled away from saying that this is about studying something. I don't feel like you're studying yourself. You still might be seeking information externally, which is totally, yes, do that. But there is this really strong pull to go within. So because of that, let me bust out the Work Your Light Oracle to see what else is going on here on a spiritual level for you guys. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Yeah, you guys just feel really alone. You don't have to do it alone, but I'm going to tell you right now, this work is done alone. It is done alone. It is done with the help of your soul family. Yes. I have a freaking amazing soul family, guys. Like, the best. But at the end of the day, it's just me. And it's always going to be just me, because I am the one that's learning this lesson, and I'm the one that is in this body and having to have the emotions and having to have the experiences. So you do need to rely on your soul family, especially if you've been isolating far too much. You need to reach out to somebody that you know that you're connected with on a different level than other people. However, I have this strong message, you guys, that you need to know that you're okay, that you're doing this alone, because that is part of it. None of us get anywhere really. It's all within. We all have to just kind of dive within to try to figure things out. You can have as much support in the world, the most amazing support there is, and you still will get forced into these spots to go within, because you're still, even if it's your soul family, you still have to realize you cannot rely on something external to make you feel fulfilled. So if you're having these emotions and you have this support around you and you're still feeling bad about it, like how you feel, you don't need to feel bad about how you feel. This is a process. I feel like there's a lot of things purging out. So right now I'm shuffling up some tarot, and I'm going to take a look and see what else is going on here for group one and what's going to be happening towards the end of the month. Justice. I just had a whole stack of cards, but I'm just going to take Justice because I don't want a big old stack like that, guys. Balancing the scales. I feel like this group has, and I'm going to say this because I've heard once again, so you've already probably heard this message before, maybe recently or maybe within the last couple months. Somehow this group was giving their energy and power over to something that they shouldn't. More than likely, I'm hearing a person or a situation. It could be multiple things, but for the most part, I feel like this is going to be for a person, particularly probably a love interest. It could be a family member. It could be, it could be a friend, but you're giving too much power over to them. Therefore, you had to rebalance the scales out. This doesn't mean that whoever you're giving power over to is a bad person or toxic or anything like that. This just means that people are the strongest drug. Relationships are an incredibly strong drug. If you give yourself over to anyone, no matter how great they are, how good they are to you, and no matter what the relationship's like, if you're not feeding yourself that same amount, you're going to cause an imbalance. And I feel like you guys had that imbalance come up. Maybe a new relationship started. Maybe you got into a new friendship. Maybe you met a new circle of people, or you got a new job, or you started school, and whatever it was, all of your excess energy was going towards other people and getting to know them and building them up. I feel like this group, you guys really do try to build people up. So maybe you were trying to build somebody up, and in that process, you just forgot yourself. And it's not like a bad thing, guys. It's not like saying like, oh, you're just so codependent, this, that, and the other. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that we forget, and so we get pulled back within when we do. So let's see what else is going on here. What's going to be coming up? So you're balancing the scales. I feel like with the Justice, along with that, is letting you know you are going to find this emotional stability and balance towards the end of the month. You're going to feel more balanced. You're going to feel like you're integrating these lessons more. You're going to feel like you're more cycling out that 9 hitting a 10 and then a new circle. So, oh my God. And then I pull the 10 of Pentacles as I'm saying as a 9 hit the 10. So there's some confirmation for you guys. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. You're building a foundation right now, guys. You're building a foundation for yourself. Bottom of the deck is 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords, when we're talking about overall, and we're not looking at a relationship reading, 7 of Swords can be deceiving yourself. You were lying to yourself about where you kind of were at, where you were at on your spiritual path, where you were at as a person, and how you were taking care of yourself. And this month kind of showed you the areas where you're needing to not lie to yourself. So now you're building a foundation. That is something. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, you're gonna have to hear that too. Again, editing software is not on this computer. Anyway, so you guys are setting a foundation this month. You've probably had some towers in the last couple weeks to months, 2 months maybe. You've had things totally destroyed and brought down, which brought you within. And we have that tower in the background there too. That kind of shows you that as well. And you have a tower here. But now that you've kind of found yourself, and that's a journey that you're always going to be in. That's a forever journey. That's for this lifetime, the next. You're always finding yourself. You're losing yourself. You're finding yourself. It's a cycle. So you've dropped that deception and what you've been telling yourself about how whatever you were doing was fine, and now you're seeing how it wasn't because you saw the ramifications of it. I'm also getting the message intuitively that this was just kind of an example to show you how serious that you need to be with yourself, with boundaries, and with relying on yourself for fulfillment and not for other people. Everything else should be additional. And you can, that's something I still don't have any, I can say it all I want, and it's still, when it comes down to me in my personal life, I have a hard time following through with that. So believe me when I say it's very easy to say and difficult to do, because I know. But this kind of showed you, I feel, a lot of your inner strength and what you're able to do on your own, because you did make it through a lot of this energy by yourself. However, it's showing you where you deceived yourself and where you've hurt yourself and where you have could have done better and not had to have struggled as much. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. What's to come? What's to come? Besides this balance and this peace, is there anything specific coming through? All right, so we have the 3 of Summer. Yes, that's so good. Okay, so this is news we're celebrating for this card. Let's read this card specifically I'm getting. All right, news we're celebrating, announcements such as weddings, graduations, and sorry, you guys, it's not clear. Friends you cherish. I feel like this is a celebration. Maybe, Halloween, you're going to go out and have some fun. Maybe you're going to get some news you've been waiting for. I feel like some people have been waiting for some news, especially with the justice here. So you could be receiving some news in regards to any type of technical thing you're waiting for, be that actually having to do with legal things. If you're in the middle of a legal battle, it could be things about school, because school is coming up a lot. So maybe if you're waiting for acceptance into spring semester or classes or whatever you're trying to do, you also could just be getting information about job. I know there's people watching this that are waiting on a job or waiting for a job to come through. So that definitely could be coming through to you. I got that strong kind of message for a while. There's a lot of job transitions happening right now. People trying to seek what they're actually, their soul wants them to do versus what they have to do in order to pay the bills. And so I feel like there's a lot of people trying to transition over to that and waiting for news of how that's going to go. I believe you're going to receive some good news. You might not get exactly everything that you're wanting, but you might get some information that is getting you towards the goal of what you want. What else is going to be happening? And then it simply could just be having a good Halloween. It's a party card. Let's see, what else just flew out? The Dreamer, a new path. Yeah, this is really nice, especially for you guys. You guys have been having a hard time. I just feel this very it's sad and stressed, but it's not like my typical sad and stressed energy that I feel when I'm reading the collective. This is you guys know, you guys kind of already know everything I said. You guys are awake. I feel, watching this. And you're like, yeah, I knew I was doing that. Yeah, I knew I was kind of going down that road. Yeah, I knew it was kind of going to blow up. But either you knew you had to do it. Some of you had to blow things up and you knew it was going to be a fallout for you, but you knew you had to. So like, particularly those ones that are waiting for jobs, maybe you had to quit and you had to quit without like having a backup. And so you knew the fallout, but it really kind of created a situation for a time being that really put you in a bad place. But now we're getting this opportunity to take the new path. So it's like now your destruction has resulted in potential for a new beginning. And the really amazing thing about, like, look at these numbers and how they line up, how we have these nines and then that 10 came out and now we have the 0, just showing you that here's the new path, here's the new opportunity. Now with new paths and new opportunities does not mean your story is all happily ever after and done. There's always going to be challenges, guys. Please remember that. But you are working towards where you're wanting to go. You're working towards your new, the new place, the new tower per se, right? Not to put it like that, but you're heading towards what you're wanting to do. So this is really positive. I hope you guys are doing okay. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Like, let me know how you're actually doing. You don't have to leave these like love and light only positive comments here. That is not the space for it. You can if you want, but if you want to be real, be real. Let me know what's going on with you, where you're at, what you think is going to be going on at the end of the year, or sorry, the end of the month, or the end of the year if you want. So that's group 1. All right. So I'm really hoping you guys are not picking up on the noise in the background, but if you are, I do apologize. Hopefully soon enough, I'll have a better situation set up. Okay. So let's dive in to group 2. So welcome group 2. This is going to be your energy and what we're going to dig into for what's coming at the end of the month for you guys. So we have the Princess of Autumn, studious, responsible, cheerful, mischievous. Happy news about your career promotions or scholarships, well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. So this is this is the Page of Pentacles for a traditional deck. So this is picking up on a lot of school energy, which I'm picking up on the whole reading as a whole, because group 1 also I was kind of getting some school energy. So if you're listening to this and you were kind of trying to decide between group 1 and 2, I'm going to say group 1 is also for you. There's messages in there for you as well. So yeah, this is a time of the year. I feel like you guys I'm feeling very buckled down, very focused, very like, all right, let's do this. Let's get this done. Maybe you were in a spot that group 1 was in a couple months ago and you've kind of gotten through that, which was this kind of like introspective, having to reassess things, reassess your life, assess where you're going. And now you have this focus and this drive and this determination to actually go after what it is that you were kind of setting up to do. So let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. King of Spring. Wow, this is really positive. So the King of Spring is going to be the King of Wands in a traditional deck. Innovative, inspiring, wise, theatrical. A financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unsuspected supporter in your cause. So I feel like this has a big implications for group 2 regarding your job, career, finances, or your school. So people that are waiting for information regarding any of those topics, I do suspect you're going to get some good news coming towards you at the end of the month regarding it. And this is because you have been putting in the work. If you haven't been putting in the work yet, I do feel like this is an energies that you're going to be embodying. You're going to be really focused and driven on going after what it is that you want. And because of that, you might get the eye of somebody that wants to help you. This could be something as simple as a major account resharing something of yours, if you have social media things going on. Or it could go all the way up to actually somebody stepping in, being like, hey, I want to work with you. I want to create something with you. And they're able to financially help you or extend your brand or whatever it is that you're doing in order to do so. So this is super, super positive for you guys. If you're not in a positive space right now and you're listening to this, this is the energy that's going to be coming to you. I just heard that some people are going to wake up just feeling kind of brand new, feeling like they can achieve what it is that they're wanting to achieve. And other people already kind of feel this stirring up. And some of you have already been in this and you have those windfalls coming in. So that's what will be coming in at the end of the month for you. All right, let's see what else we have going on here. All right, sacrifice. So we have sacrifice coming in. Yeah, you guys really did have to sacrifice something. Like you had to give up something in order to get to the space. So that's just kind of what I see. I don't really see much else coming through. I don't feel like this is a sacrifice that you're needing to make in order to get something right now. I feel like this has already been done or you're in the process of doing it right now. Base chakra. Yep, yep, yep. Money, money, money. Base chakra is all about how you're feeling a security, stability, feeling sound in yourself. But whenever it's coming up surrounded by money cards, which to me, this is kind of what I'm seeing here. This is just reiterating. This is like a financial thing. So if you're waiting, this also could be if you're waiting on like housing or to hear about a move, to hear about an approval for something like that, that could be coming through to you at the end of the month. There's a sense of security. I feel it's coming through. And okay, so this is what it is with the sacrifice and the security. I see it now. You had to give up something in the past, or you're having to give up something in order to get to these energies, which is really going after something. So you might have, like I was saying earlier, did you like have to give up on like a job or something without a fallback, and you just like went after it, and so like you are now reaping the rewards from that. You had to give up some sense of security and sacrifice that in order to get to the energies that you're stepping into at the end of the month or that you're already in. So, and I'm making that clear distinction because I don't, it's kind of split right now with how I'm seeing things play out. So again, some people are in one category or in another. You'll have to use your discernment. You know what's going on with you better than I do because this is a general reading. So let's see what else is going on here. Intuition. I need one more card from this. And triumph. Yeah, you followed your intuition, and because of that, you're getting something really good. I feel like it's just getting repetitive at this point. Let's go ahead and use some tarot to see if any more specifics come out. But this is just good financial news, guys. Like, this is just you being told that you're getting what you want on a financial basis, on a security basis. It might not be financial again. It could be something that's related to security. So you think job or think car, think housing, that type of thing. What is going on for group 2 at the end of the month? Anything else you can tell me? Queen of Cups. All right. I was just going to say anything about relationships or anything because I know you guys want to hear about that. Ooh. We got 2 7. So that 7 up there, that triumph, and that 7 of wands is also the same thing. It's the same energy of having to compete and win. So I'm telling you right now, a big chunk of you are going after something and you're competing with other people and you're going to win. But I feel something else coming through on this, which is not so great. So I'm going to dive into that next. Yeah, it's not so great. Yeah, it's not so great. We got the 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So I was saying, what's going on with love for group 2, right? We had the Queen of Cups come out. The Queen of Cups doesn't represent a relationship. So this could also be regarding just if you don't have anybody in your life and this isn't resonating with you, then I would take it and use it in regards to your emotional well-being and how you're doing emotionally. But I do see this as a potential issue in a relationship, or if you aren't in a relationship and you're like speaking to somebody, you're talking to somebody in that kind of range, I'm just getting the strong like vibe that this person that you're dealing with potentially has like other suitors or has some people that you don't know about. Maybe they have a partner already. Maybe they have an ex that they haven't let go. Because I'm seeing this Queen of Cups having to fight off and fend off other people, but at the end of the day, there's something that comes to light. There's something that was hidden that they didn't even know about whenever they were fighting off these people. And they were standing there very sure of themselves in this fight. They were feeling like, I got this. I'm going to win. Like, this is not like, I believe this person, or I'm better than all these other people, if you're going to fall into that, if you're feeling like you need to compete for another person. Which, let's not go into that rant. Guys, don't compete for people. It's not worth it. But that's basically what I see, is you guys finding out it's not worth it and walking away. So those in relationships, if this doesn't resonate, don't take it. Don't start blowing your partner up being like, what are you hiding from me? Because Stephanie told me there's something, okay? Okay, especially some of my friends listening to this. Don't blow me up about it. But if you are in a relationship where you kind of feel some kind of way, I'm going to take this as you have every right to feel some kind of way. So if you find yourself in a situation where people are confronting you about your partner, or about the person that you're dealing with, you might want to step back, and before you get defensive, take a look at what they have to say and what's going on, because there's something you don't know about the situation. So I hate to throw something negative in when it's such a positive reading in regards to everything else, but that's typically how life goes, guys. Typically, not everything's going great at once. Typically, we have, maybe our finances are on point and our relationships are trash. Or maybe everything is going great, but our mental health is terrible and we feel awful because it's like we should be happy, right? And that's just kind of how things go. Not everything's going to be perfect at once. So again, don't take that part of the reading if it does not resonate with you. But I got to say it if I see it. Anyway, let's take a look. Let me just get I don't really need to tell you guys advice, because if you're going to do what you're going to do regarding the situation. For those that are resonating on a relationship level, you might not walk away, but the advice is going to be to walk away, because there's something better that you're not going to have to compete for. You don't need to compete. Let's just get one more card, though. I'm feeling one more card. The Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Queen of Wands is not fucking competing for shit, guys. She's not competing for anyone. Why? Because she has a line of people outside just begging and wanting to be with her. Why would she compete? Why wouldn't she be making them compete? Like, she's going to be like, all right, you guys can show me all what you have to offer me, and then you can come into the picture. And the King of Wands is going to come in and want his queen, and that's it. There's going to be no competition because nobody can touch her. So you got two queens sitting here. Majority of my viewers are women, identify as women, and listen, it's telling you something. And for those that aren't, it's still telling you something. It doesn't matter. Like, step into your power with this situation. Okay? All right, guys. So that is group 2. Oh, I'm throwing cards now. The Queen of Wands is one of my favorite cards. She's a stalker card of mine. For those that read tarot, you'll know what I mean. But if you don't, stalker cards are cards that constantly come out at you, no matter what deck you use, no matter when you're doing it. They just always show up. And she is my stalker. So she always sits there to remind me that I am that bitch, and I need to not let myself think that I'm not. So she's here to tell you that too. Okay, group 2. All right. So let's jump on to our last group, group 3. Hello, group 3. This is what is coming for you, or what's going on with you at the end of the month, October. It's just Star Seeds. I love this deck so much. I want her new one. She has a new one coming out. It's on pre-order right now on Amazon. It is Rebecca Campbell. Okay. Starseed. What lights you up? I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. I was like, I used to be able to just make this clear perfectly fine before. Now it's not working. All right. Let's get in here, card. What lights you up? Well, I'm going to get another card. What lights you up, group 3? What's going on? Doesn't this look like a 5? Right? 5 is the number of struggle. 5 is a struggle number. I see 5s. I'm like, oh shit, what's going to happen? What's going to change? What has been changing for you guys? Protection, call back your power, cut cords, soul retrieval. You let somebody take some power from you. So if you were splitting this deck or trying to decide between 1 and 3, and you pick 3, go ahead and listen to 1, is what I'm hearing. And leap, you go first, the universe will catch. Yeah, definitely listen to 1, because there's messages and a lot of messages in there for you. Even if you weren't, just listen to 1. Okay. these cards are so pretty, guys. Like how I just like I mean I love all my cards, but these cards are beautiful. I need to get her new deck. I'm gonna get it. I don't care. Okay, let's go back to your guys' reading. Um, there's been a lot of changes. I'm gonna take that 5. I'm gonna take that big ass 5 I see and tell you guys you are going through a lot of changes. You've had a lot of challenges. You've had a lot of hurdles, just like everybody else. But you in group 1 have had more so than I would say group 2. You also are in a situation where you've given your power over just as group 1 to somebody else, to something else, and you had to cut the cord. I feel like that's what your 5 was. You had to actually pull back and cut those cords, or you are being called to right now to do that by the end of the month, to get rid of these attachments that do not serve you. You have to let go of them. You have to start something new, as scary as that is. There's a lot of fear here. Ooh, financial material changes 5. Another freaking 5, guys. What's going on with you? So many changes for group 3. You know, that card technically comes out whenever people have had a hard time financially. When you're struggle, it's a struggle card. It's another struggle card, as I was talking about in the other readings. Yeah, I was just about to say this, but I just I don't want to feel like I'm talking about my own stuff here, but the cards are letting me. So you guys had to give up something. And it was probably your foundation. It could have been your home. Maybe you were in a relationship you had to leave where you were financially dependent on the other person. Maybe you had to leave a job that you were financially, and I'm feeling also there was an emotional attachment as well. So this could be a person, but it could be a job. I don't know about you guys, but I love working. I mean, I love my work. I love this work, but overall, I've always been the type of person that really likes working, even though I'll bitch about it. I'm a 10th house Venus and Mars. So if you know astrology, you'll know that means that I love to work. And even if it's someplace I hate, not having to leave a foundation, Taurus as well. I'm a Taurus sun. It messes me up emotionally. It's weird, right? Like I don't know how many of you guys relate that where you get really into your job, you get really into doing a good job at your job, and even if you freaking hate that place and hate the people, leaving it causes you some sort of emotional distress. I feel like maybe that has happened to some of you, but a lot of this will be about relationships that you had to leave. And it's caused you to emotionally withdraw. Maybe you've had to quote unquote turn off your feelings so you don't have to feel them. Maybe you've had to it's saying that you just had to walk away from a situation that was you were emotionally attached to and financially attached to, and it was very difficult. It was a very difficult decision. It was I'm getting more emotional, it caused more emotions than you were anticipating or ready for. And so what we do have, though, as a positive through all this is this triumph at the end, this Ace of Swords, you getting your sword back, you getting your power and your strength back, you transmuting a lot of the negativity that you're having to deal with and a lot of the physical attachments, I feel. You had a lot of attachments to physical things. So again, maybe it was a job that wasn't good for you. Maybe it was a person that wasn't good for you, but they physically made you feel secure and safe because you just were used to it, right? Or because they provided for you on a financial realm. Conflict and defeat. Yeah, another freaking 5. Heavy energy, guys. This is the heaviest energy of the 3. So, we don't like that card coming out after the Ace of Swords at all. Or, it's not the Ace of Swords, but that's what it is in a traditional deck. Over that Swords. Because then that feels like you get your strength back and then you get knocked down again, which is maybe what's happening to you. Maybe that is going to happen. Again, you're watching collective readings. Not everything's going to be happy and good because is your life always happy and good? So take that in mind when you're listening. Don't get mad at me for giving you the information. You're seeing these cards come out just as clearly as I am. But there could be a situation where it might have already happened. I feel like for some of you, it hasn't happened yet, where you're going to feel like you got your power and your strength back and somebody kicks you down again. However, why let them? And you could have your emotions, but you don't have to stay down there. He can still get back up. You don't have to stay down there. Yeah. Look at who comes out to remind you of that. the Queen of Swords. She's coming out to tell you that you don't have to stay down there. That okay, you got your sword back, and you started to feel some kind of way about yourself again, started to get your power back, and then you weren't really ready yet, and so somebody was able to come in and kick you down. That's the thing. Somebody was able to come in and kick you down because you really weren't back at where you were, which is this Queen of Swords, of who you really are, this strong individual that is about what is best for her and the people that she cares about. And you are finding that balance again with that Two of Pentacles. You are finding your sword, and not only are you getting your sword back, you're getting your whole fucking thing back. You're getting your whatever this is. You're getting your chariot. You're getting your, I know she doesn't have servants around her, but you're getting those back too. I just felt like you're getting your servants back. I don't know why I had to say that, but I had to say it. Maybe that's that 10th house Mars. But you're getting back to who you were before this change, and you're finding that balance and that equilibrium. All right, oops. Let's see. I want to pull this. Let me use this stack. The initiation, yeah. This is a rite of passage. This is a moment where these moments were happening because I'm trying to figure out how to say what I'm hearing where it makes sense and it's not like ridiculous is the way this message is coming in. Basically, if you're okay, sorry. The way I've been receiving messages lately is so ridiculous. It's like, stop it, brain. Would you just like give me something clearly? That's not a joke or in joke format. Okay. The only way that people can really be in their strength and be that person, that person that I think a lot of us want to be, if not all of us, that person that is sure of themselves, that is sure of where they're going, that doesn't care if they make mistakes, that doesn't care if people don't like them, that person that knows who they are so much that they don't get knocked down by fives. They might trip, but then they push themselves back up. They're not just the Ace of Swords. They're not just the sword standing there and letting themselves be known, that they have this whole team and this whole energy behind them of being the Queen of Swords. If you really want to be that, you have to go through your rite of passage. You have to go through your shit. Because the thing is that these queens, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, as they've all shown themselves in these readings, they aren't like, the kings and queens that we think of, where they just are born into it and that's all they have. This energy is showing you that you've had to work through the entire selection, from the Ace of Swords all the way up to the Queen of Swords to get there, that you've had to do all that work to get there. You didn't just get born into it. You didn't just wake up one day and you were the Queen of Swords. You had to deal with life in order to get it to that point, in order to see that it doesn't matter what other people think of you, because they're not the ones at the end of the day with you. It's only you. You had to get to the point where you see that it doesn't matter what relationship you're in, because the Queen of Swords stands for unmarried people and people who are about them and not about being in a relationship. If you want to be in a relationship with her, you better show her what you have to offer. And so you've had to go through the lessons of where maybe you were codependent. Maybe you were like, please love me and please take me and please pick me. And you've had to see how that doesn't serve you. So how would you know these things don't serve you if you didn't experience them? You wouldn't. You might know, quote unquote, you might be able to quote it out of a book, but then when you're actually face to face with that individual that makes you feel all these ways, that makes you feel like you then step into that energy, you're not going to know based off of what a book says. You only know through experience. So this right now and what has happened to you and what might continue to happen to you, I cannot say it's going to stop, because it doesn't look like it necessarily stops, but it pushes you to a point that you're like, you know what, I'm back in the Queen of Swords. I'm back into finding balance. And I understand that this is a part of the deal, that I'm in the darkness in order to get to that light back there. So, this is your grind time. This is where you're being ground down and made into a diamond. This is where your inner light is having to shine to lead you through the way. But you're gonna get there. And I feel like for a lot of you, that final, like stepping into your power and getting knocked down is like your final, like, I really, because I don't feel like it's anything big. This isn't like a big betrayal or a big heartache or something that really messes you up, a big tower. It's none of that. It's like, it's just some stupid person voicing their opinion about what you do or who you are or what you're about. And you finally be like, you know what? No, 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 no. I'm not just a sword. I'm the whole ass queen. Okay? So that is going to be your reading, guys. So thank you so much for checking this reading out. Let me know what you think. Again, I do apologize if there's a lot of background noise. I don't know how much is actually being picked up, so you might not hear anything. And yeah, I do apologize that I couldn't do all signs for you. But again, this is what's going to be going on for you at the end of the month, kind of what you've been going through and why you've been going through it this month. I know, like I said in the beginning, a lot of people have been struggling. It's been really hard. So I send a lot of my love to you guys. And that's about it. So I will let you know when I reopen private readings. Right now I have my shop closed. If you want to follow me elsewhere, you can always follow my private page and see my million posts about how I feel. No, my million shit posts. And kind of keep up with where when I open things back up. But I will make a new pick a card video, which I had planned for a while, which is your next big change that's coming to your life. That is the next reading coming out for you guys. And hopefully by then I have readings back open, and you can book with me. Otherwise, check out the description box below anyway if you want to check out the Facebook groups or Instagram or any of that stuff. All the information is below. I hope you guys have a good rest of your month as best as you can. And if you're not having a good month, that's fine. You don't have to have a good month. You don't always have to feel good. You don't always have to be happy, because there's a lot of growth that happens in the darkness. And you will not see that until you get to the other side. So I love you all. I will see you next time.